This is a quick demo of something that I've been building called Video Splitter. The goal is basically to take longer form video and split or clip it into shorter form video so it can go onto different platforms like TikTok or YouTube Shorts. Um, I created this because I have a podcast, Coffee and Open Source, and I really wanted to take some of the content that was there and split it up just to raise awareness. And I think there were some really, really good things that people could learn without having to listen to a whole hour long podcast episode. So basically, what this tool does is you provided a video file, whether it's a YouTube link or an MP4 file on your desktop, and it allows you to generate interesting segments from it using AI. So we'll do a quick walkthrough of the app, and then we'll show, what it actually does. All right. So I'm gonna go over to my settings because that's the most important place to start. So what's cool about Video Splitter is that it has the concept of local or cloud mode. So there's a couple of different facets here. So let's just minimize everything. So there's a couple of pieces. So if you provide an MP4 file and you want to be able to get interesting information from it, eventually you're going to have to take that video and get a transcript from it. There are a few ways to do this, and I wanted to provide flexibility depending on what folks want to accomplish. So in the transcript generation place, you can either have a local version using Whisper.net, or you can use Azure AI Speech. Using Whisper.net, it'll check to see if you have a model available. You can initialize new models if you want, or if you have an Azure AI Speech instance running in Azure, you can specify an API key there. The next part that's important is basically how it actually generates the segments itself. So there's a local mode and there's a hosted mode. So you can use Olama and you can then check to see if Olama is running. I don't have Olama running at the moment, but if I start Olama in the background and then I can run check status again, it'll say that it's actually running once all escape, and then I can specify what models that I have. So it actually looks at the list of models that I have running on my machine. Or I can actually use OpenAI, Claude, Azure OpenAI Service, or Google Gemini. I'm going to use Azure OpenAI Service, and then I specify a key and an endpoint, and then what I want my deployment name to be. I can also test this if I want to. So it'll actually test each individual thing to see if it's there. The next thing is that we want to specify like what a segment means. So you can specify segments, aka like how long you want the clip to be. So in this particular case, I want the maximum segment length to be 180. So that's about 3 minutes. So that fits for on most short form video platforms, and then number of segments. And then you're probably wondering, okay, so what actually is being sent to the LLM? Well, that's where the prompts come in. So you can specify your system and user prompt. I have default ones here. So it basically says you're a technical content creator, blah, blah, blah. And then for user prompt, you pass in the actual transcript. And there's some placeholders here, and I define what those are here. And then the last couple of things is just to make sure you have some tools available. So this obviously takes a good amount of use of FFmpeg, which basically allows you to take videos and cut them and generate wave files from them. So I basically check to see if FFmpeg is installed on the machine. And then finally, which is the coolest part of this, in my opinion, is social media publishing. So you can specify what social media platforms you want to publish to. So right now I have TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and I'm currently working on Instagram Reels. It doesn't work at the moment, but that will be support for there as well. All right, so that's the settings. So let's just go through the experience of setting up a new project. So if I create a new project, let's just call this one, this is Danny Thompson. This is the person that was last on my podcast. I can provide a description and name. I can either pass in a YouTube URL, or since I have a video locally, I can actually just use upload the file itself. So I go to choose file, and then I can pass that in. It tells me how big the file is, and then what's going to do is it's basically going to index that file for me, and it's going to set up a project. So the idea of projects is what we have in this. So there's a database behind the scenes that's basically showing us, or basically holding all the information that's needed to actually get this to work. So this does take a little bit of time. I'm going to fast forward, and then after that video has been moved over, and it will take you over to the project screen. All right, so we're back. So after the video gets fully added, basically, and the project gets saved, you get taken to the project detail page. So it gives you information about the project. You can see the length of the video, how big it is, where it actually sits on the disk. There's a video player here, so you can actually play, right? That's pretty cool. And then what I think is the most important part of this is this clip segments. So it can actually specify custom clips. Like if I go here, and I can just specify, oh, I want this particular clip, and I can actually go through the process of extracting it and previewing it and all that. So that's kind of cool. But the biggest thing is like I want to use AI to be able to facilitate this. So I'm going to click generate segments, and then it does a few things. It takes that MP4 file, it extracts the audio stream from it, and creates a WAV file using just FFmpeg, and then it takes that WAV file and creates a transcript using Whisper. And after that's done, it then makes a call out to OpenAI in our particular case. It'll go through the process. It'll show you all the steps here and generate segments based on your requirements. As one would imagine, transcribing a video that's over an hour long is somewhat long. It takes a long time. So right now it says where it's got about 13 minutes of it. So I'm gonna pause really quick, and when we come back, it'll show you some more of the information, and then we'll actually see what it looks like at the back end. Okay, so the transcription is about to finish, and then as you can see, it says sends the request to the AI provider. And again, OpenAI, Azure OpenAI is what we're doing right now using the Azure OpenAI service. And then once this completes, so it's gotten the response back, and then it generates some segments here. So it shows you the segments that exist. You can actually go in here and play these, and it'll actually take you to that timestamp where it actually shows you what the actual video is. And then from there, you have the ability, you can manage them a particular way. You can also regenerate if you want. Let's just say this one, I'm just going to approve it. And then I can extract it. And this is where you basically specify how you want to extract the file. So one thing that I found quite interesting is the podcast itself, the resolution is 1920 by 1080, which is horizontal 16 by 9 ratio. And that doesn't really work very well in short form video content. It makes it all boxy and look kind of weird. So I thought, okay, so what are some different aspect ratios, or how can I, basically take this video and make it a bit more consumable on those short form video platforms? So I can actually specify the output ratio here. So you center crop it, or blur the background, or split screen. In my particular case, I have a custom one just for my podcast because of the way the video actually looks. And then another cool thing is I can actually burn in subtitles. So instead of using like the closed captioning experience that exists in whatever video platform, I can specify those myself using that transcript. So I can just specify that, and I can go and choose a font size and where the position is. Let's just say it's going to be in the middle. And then I can generate a preview of what it's actually going to look like. And it looks kind of funny right now. But when I actually generate the video, it's all going to be in that same area. But it gives you a good idea of what it's going to look like. So I can then click extract. And then this is going to extract the video, and it's going to give me an option to open it and play it. So when that's done, it takes a second. I'll be able to open the video, and then after that, I'll be able to publish it to those different social media platforms that I want. All right. So as you can see here, I can open the clip, I can play it. So let's just open this clip really quick, and it opened up a different page. So I'm just going to move this over. So this is the video that gets actually generated. Let me try and minimize this. So as you can see, make it a little bit smaller too. So as you can see, it took a 19 by 20 or 1920 by 1080 video, it split it in half and then stacked it on top of each other and then put subtitles in the middle, which I think is really, really cool. So I can close this. And then the last thing that I can do is I can post. So I can post a TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever, right? So if I click, post to TikTok, it'll actually walk me through. I can specify the privacy, I can do a description and hashtags. And then when I click that, let's show you what it actually looks like. This is a video that I published earlier, right? All I did is I just hit publish, and it published it out there for me. So, it's really, really awesome. And I have it working for YouTube and TikTok, like I mentioned. And, I think this is really, really interesting. I can then go and look at all the projects that I have if I have multiple projects. So basically that's the tool that I've been working on. I'm going to publish this to GitHub probably in the next few days. I have a couple of things I want to clean up, but something that I've been, thinking about building and then decided to build a while ago. And yeah, if anybody wants to contribute or have any questions or comments, you know how to get a hold of me. Thanks.